Which of the following best defines integrity in a professional context? A. Following company policies only when supervised. B. Demonstrating honesty and strong moral principles even without supervision. C. Avoiding mistakes to maintain personal reputation. D. Adapting ethical behavior to match team expectations. The correct answer is B. Demonstrating honesty and strong moral principles, even without supervision. Explanation. Integrity in a professional context means consistently acting in accordance with moral and ethical principles, even when no one is watching. It involves honesty, trustworthiness, and accountability, which are essential to building lasting professional credibility and public trust. Which of the following is the primary difference between ethics and integrity? A. Ethics is legally enforceable. Integrity is optional. B. Ethics relates to external rules. Integrity reflects internal character. C. Integrity applies only to leadership roles. Ethics applies to everyone. D. Ethics is based on company reputation. Integrity is about following orders. The correct answer is B. Ethics relates to external rules. Integrity reflects internal character. Explanation. Ethics are often codified rules, standards, or codes defined by professions, industries, or organizations. Integrity, on the other hand, reflects an individual's personal commitment to honesty and moral consistency. Ethical behavior can be driven by rules. Integrity is driven by values. Why is integrity essential for maintaining public confidence in professional roles? A. Because clients expect quick results. B. Because trust and credibility are foundational to public support. C. Because it reduces the cost of doing business. D. Because it ensures faster project completion. The correct answer is B. Because trust and credibility are foundational to public support. Explanation. Professionals such as engineers, architects, and construction managers are entrusted with responsibilities that affect safety, finances, and public welfare. Integrity builds trust, enabling stakeholders and the public to have confidence in the decisions and outcomes delivered by those professionals. Which of the following is an example of an ethical dilemma in the workplace? A. Choosing between two different project suppliers based on price. B. Deciding whether to report a coworker who falsified a safety report. C. Prioritizing one project deadline over another. D. Selecting materials from a preferred vendor. The correct answer is B. Deciding whether to report a coworker who falsified a safety report. Explanation. An ethical dilemma occurs when a person faces a choice between two or more conflicting ethical principles. In this example, the professional must weigh loyalty to a colleague against the obligation to uphold safety and integrity, which makes it a classic ethical dilemma. Which model for ethical decision-making includes policies, legal, universal, and self as key filters? A. Virtue ethics model. B. Four-component model. C. Plus model. D. Kidder's 9-step model. The correct answer is C. Plus model. Explanation. The plus model is a commonly used ethical decision-making framework in professional settings. It emphasizes four filters for evaluating decisions: policies, company rules, legal lawfulness, universal or is generally acceptable, and self, personal integrity. This model is particularly useful in high-pressure or ambiguous situations. According to Kidder's 9-step model, what is the first step in ethical decision-making? A. Make the decision. B. Recognize there is moral issue. C. Identify the ethical actor. D. Choose between two right options. The correct answer is B. Recognize there is a moral issue. Explanation. Kidder's 9-step model begins by identifying that an ethical or moral issue is present. Recognizing the issue is fundamental to activating ethical reasoning. Without this awareness, actions may be taken without proper consideration of right versus wrong. What is the main purpose of a professional code of conduct? A. To replace legal obligations. B. To improve company profits. C. To outline acceptable behavior and professional responsibilities. D. To encourage competition among staff. The correct answer is C. To outline acceptable behavior and professional responsibilities. Explanation. A code of conduct outlines the ethical and professional standards expected in a given industry or organization. It guides behavior, ensures accountability, and reinforces a culture of trust and professionalism. Which of the following could be a consequence of breaching a code of conduct in the construction industry? A. Public recognition for taking initiative. B. Disciplinary action or loss of license. C. A pay increase for productivity. D. A promotion to a leadership role. The correct answer is B. Disciplinary action or loss of license explanation. Violating a code of conduct can lead to significant consequences, including disciplinary measures, suspension, or loss of professional registration or licensing. Such measures are essential to uphold ethical standards and protect public trust. What is the best course of action when witnessing unethical behavior in your workplace? A. Share it on social media to expose the issue. B. Report the incident through the proper whistleblowing channel. C. Publicly shame the person. D. Ignore it to avoid involvement. The correct answer is B. Report the incident through the proper whistleblowing channel. Explanation. The proper way to handle observed unethical behavior is to report it via formal whistleblowing channels. These are confidential and designed to protect the person reporting the wrongdoing while allowing the organization to address misconduct appropriately. Which of the following best reflects a professional's responsibility in project delivery? A. Ensuring the project meets safety, quality, and ethical standards. B. Relying only on client instructions without questioning them. C. Maximizing profit by reducing materials. D. Meeting deadlines at any cost. The correct answer is A. Ensuring the project meets safety, quality, and ethical standards. Explanation. Professionals must deliver projects not just efficiently, but ethically and safely. Their responsibility includes maintaining quality, adhering to codes, and protecting public welfare, even if it means challenging instructions or incurring higher costs. Under the New Zealand Crimes Act 1961, what is the primary legal consequence of offering a bribe to a public official? A. A civil penalty and temporary job suspension. B. A criminal conviction with potential imprisonment. C. A warning issued by the employer. D. Disqualification from all future government contracts. The correct answer is B. A criminal conviction with potential imprisonment. Explanation. Offering or accepting a bribe in New Zealand is a criminal offence under the Crimes Act 1961. It can lead to prosecution, fines, and imprisonment for up to 7 years, depending on the severity and role of the individual involved. This law ensures integrity in both public and private sectors. Which of the following is an example of a conflict of interest in a procurement process? A. Publishing open tenders on a government website. B. Evaluating bids based on preset scoring criteria. C. Awarding a contract to a relative without declaring the relationship. D. Inviting vendors to a public pre-bid meeting. The correct answer is C. Awarding a contract to a relative without declaring the relationship. Explanation. A conflict of interest occurs when personal relationships interfere with impartial decision-making. Awarding a contract to a family member without disclosure breaches procurement integrity and may lead to disciplinary or legal action. Transparency and disclosure are essential in public sector procurement. Which law provides guidance on anti-corruption practices for public officials in New Zealand? A. Companies Act 1993. B. Fair Trading Act 1986. C. Public Service Act 2020. D. Crimes Act 1961. The correct answer is D. Crimes Act 1961. Explanation. The Crimes Act 1961, specifically sections 99105, outlines offences such as bribery, corruption, and misuse of official position by public servants. It serves as New Zealand's core legislative instrument for prosecuting corrupt behaviour. Which of the following would be considered a red flag for potential collusion between bidders in a tender process? A. All bids submitted with minor pricing differences and similar formatting. B. Bids submitted at different times using various templates. C. Independent questions from different bidders during the queue of phase. D. Multiple bids below market average. The correct answer is A. All bids submitted with minor pricing differences and similar formatting. Explanation. Bid rigging and collusion can often be detected when multiple bidders submit near-identical proposals with small pricing differences and similar formats. This suggests coordination rather than competition, a major concern in procurement fraud investigations. What is a key element of ethical leadership? A. Strictly enforcing rules without exceptions. B. Allowing team members to operate without oversight. C. Leading by example and modeling integrity. D. Delegating all decisions to a compliance officer. The correct answer is C. Leading by example and modeling integrity. Explanation. Ethical leadership is about more than enforcing rules. It involves setting tone from the top, being transparent, showing respect, and consistently demonstrating ethical behavior. This builds trust and encourages accountability across the organization. Which of the following best defines a kickback in the context of corruption? A. A discount given by a supplier for early payment. B. A return of part of a payment to someone for facilitating a contract. C. A refund for a returned product. D. A formal complaint about contract terms. The correct answer is B. A return of part of a payment to someone for facilitating a contract explanation. A kickback is a form of bribery where a portion of a contract payment is secretly returned to someone in exchange for awarding or facilitating that contract. It undermines fairness and can lead to legal action or dismissal. In a construction industry, nepotism may result in A. Efficient delivery due to known relationships. B. Contract awards based purely on cost. C. Hiring or promoting relatives regardless of merit. D. Compliance with tender regulations. The correct answer is C. Hiring or promoting relatives regardless of merit explanation. Nepotism is the practice of favoring relatives, often at the expense of qualified candidates. In high-risk sectors like construction or infrastructure, this practice undermines fair competition and trust and is considered a type of corruption when public funds are involved. Why is procurement integrity critical in the public sector? A. It helps increase taxes for better revenue. B. It reduces project timelines by avoiding evaluations. C. It ensures fairness, transparency, and accountability in spending public funds. D. It allows public officials to choose preferred suppliers. The correct answer is C. It ensures fairness, transparency, and accountability in spending public funds. Explanation. Procurement integrity ensures that public money is used wisely and fairly, promoting competition, transparency, and public trust. It also helps prevent corruption and mismanagement of taxpayer-funded projects. Which of the following is an effective fraud prevention measure in public infrastructure projects? A. Single-person sign-off for contracts. B. Encouraging verbal agreements for speed. C. Rotating duties and implementing strong internal controls. D. Allowing unlimited project discretion by contractors. The correct answer is C. Rotating duties and implementing strong internal controls. Explanation. Internal controls like segregation of duties, audit trails, and regular reviews help detect and prevent fraud. Rotating responsibilities reduces the risk of long-term collusion or concealment. What is the most appropriate first step when an employee identifies a potential conflict of interest in a procurement process? A. Ignore the issue unless asked about it. B. Disclose the conflict to a supervisor or compliance officer. C. Proceed as usual but avoid making the final decision. D. Post about it anonymously online. The correct answer is B. Disclose the conflict to a supervisor or compliance officer. Explanation. When a conflict of interest arises, such as having personal relationship with bidder in procurement process, the first step must be disclosure. This allows the organization to assess and mitigate any potential bias, preserving fairness and transparency. What is the key legal protection provided to whistleblowers under most whistleblower protection laws? A. Protection from retaliation or dismissal. B. Financial rewards. C. Right to remain anonymous. D. Guaranteed promotion. The correct answer is A. Protection from retaliation or dismissal. Explanation. Whistleblower protection laws ensure that individuals who report wrongdoing are safeguarded from termination, harassment, or discrimination. This encourages employees to report misconduct without fear of negative consequences. Which of the following best describes an effective strategy for managing conflicts of interest in the workplace? A. Avoiding all relationships with external suppliers. B. Ignoring minor or indirect conflicts. C. Allowing staff to self-assess whether there is a conflict. D. Maintaining a conflict of interest register and review process. The correct answer is D. Maintaining a conflict of interest register and review process. Explanation. A conflict of interest register allows organizations to track, review, and manage conflicts transparently. This formal process ensures accountability and demonstrates the organization's commitment to ethical governance. What is a key ethical principle in procurement and contracting? A. Ensuring transparency and fairness in the selection process. B. Keeping supplier evaluations confidential from all internal staff. C. Awarding contracts based on personal preferences. D. Giving priority to the lowest cost bidder regardless of other factors. The correct answer is A. Ensuring transparency and fairness in the selection process. Explanation. Procurement must be based on open, competitive, and transparent processes. Ethical principles ensure that no party receives an unfair advantage and that decision-making can be audited and justified. Which of the following is a common challenge faced by whistleblowers in organizations? A. Fear of retaliation or social exclusion. B. Losing access to company benefits immediately. C. Receiving multiple awards. D. Being required to leave the country. The correct answer is A. Fear of retaliation or social exclusion. Explanation. Whistleblowers often hesitate to report due to the fear of retaliation, isolation from peers, or damage to career prospects. Organizations must establish trust, confidentiality, and safe reporting channels to support them. What distinguishes an ethical culture from a purely compliance-based culture? A. Ethical culture encourages rule-breaking when justified. B. Compliance culture focuses on values and ethics. C. Ethical culture promotes integrity even when no one is watching. D. Compliance culture is more flexible and people-oriented. The correct answer is C. Ethical culture promotes integrity even when no one is watching. Explanation. An ethical culture is values-driven, emphasizing doing the right thing even in the absence of external monitoring. In contrast, a compliance culture focuses mainly on following rules and regulations, sometimes without deeper ethical reasoning. The best organizations foster both. What is an example of a procurement decision that lacks integrity? A. Declaring a past relationship with a supplier. B. Accepting a gift from a bidder and awarding them the contract. C. Disqualifying a bidder due to failure to meet criteria. D. Choosing a supplier based on lowest total cost of ownership. The correct answer is B. Accepting a gift from a bidder and awarding them the contract. Explanation. This scenario presents a clear conflict of interest. Accepting gifts can create an obligation or bias, which compromises the fairness of procurement decisions and may constitute unethical or illegal behavior. What is a key component of encouraging a speak-up culture in an organization? A. Publicly naming whistleblowers. B. Offering bonuses for not reporting internal problems. C. Promoting top performers only. D. Ensuring staff know how to report issues anonymously. The correct answer is D. Ensuring staff know how to report issues anonymously. Explanation. An effective speak-up culture requires clear and confidential reporting channels when employees feel safe reporting concerns anonymously if needed. It fosters transparency and prevents misconduct from escalating. Why is self-reflection important in ethical decision-making? A. It helps avoid all professional responsibility. B. It allows individuals to examine their motivations and biases. C. It guarantees perfection in judgment. D. It removes the need for organizational policies. The correct answer is B. It allows individuals to examine their motivations and biases. Explanation. Self-reflection supports ethical integrity by enabling individuals to recognize personal blind spots and evaluate the ethical implications of their decisions. It encourages responsible and thoughtful action. Which of the following is a sign of favoritism in a contracting process? A. Publishing the evaluation report post-award. B. Holding open tenders with transparent selection rules. C. Basing decisions on predefined scoring criteria. D. Inviting only one supplier known to a senior manager. The correct answer is D. Inviting only one supplier known to a senior manager. Explanation. Restricting a procurement process to a single, personally known supplier undermines fairness and opens the door to bias and corruption. Ethical procurement requires openness and merit-based evaluation. Which action best supports continuous ethical improvement in a professional setting? A. Avoiding feedback to maintain confidence. B. Seeking training and learning from past mistakes. C. Ignoring errors unless others notice. D. Relying only on senior staff for ethical decisions. The correct answer is B. Seeking training and learning from past mistakes. Explanation. Ethical growth is a lifelong process. Professionals should actively pursue learning opportunities, reflect on past errors, and seek feedback to continuously strengthen ethical awareness and performance.